Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Data Engineering with Saqlain. I'm Saqlain Kazi, currently working as a senior data engineer in top MNC in India. I currently hold around 4 years of experience into different big data engineering projects, and I'm here to guide you for the data engineer interview preparation, where I'll be sharing the data engineer interview questions and answers that are majorly asked by the top MNCs. We have already started with Python interview questions and answers for a data engineer on our YouTube channel Data Engineering with Saqlain. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel and also hit the bell icon for recent notifications. So today we'll be starting at day 6. First question for the day is, what is deep copy and shallow copy in Python? This is very important question and asked in majority of the interviews. Let's understand this. So these are the both methods, that is shallow copy and deep copy, are different methods that we use to copy objects in Python, but there are certain differences between them while working with nested lists. Let's understand this. Firstly, shallow copy creates a new object whenever we use it, but it does not create copies of a nested object within the original list. Like the shallow copy fails in case of nested list while working with nested list. Let's understand this with an example. So this is an example of a nested list. So what do you understand by a nested list? That a list will have another list in it. So that is an example of a nested list. For example, this list has 1 comma 2 comma another list which has two values 3 and 4. So this is an example of nested list. So if we want to copy this list with the help of using shallow copy method, firstly we need to import the copy module in Python and then use this syntax copy dot copy, and the name of the list should be specified in the parenthesis, that is round brackets. So here we are copying the original list, so that is the reason we have specified the name of the list here. And for example, if we want to copy this shallow copy list and do some modifications onto that, for example, if we are changing this first element of the list to 100, so it is positioned at the second element, and out of that it is positioned at the zeroth element, the 3 value. We are changing this 3 value to a 100. So what will happen? The shallow copied list will become as 1 comma 2 comma 100 comma 4. But as shallow copy fails in case of nested list, it will also modify the original list. So now the original list will also become as 1 comma 2 comma 100 comma 4, because they are pointing to the same memory location. So that is the reason shallow copy fails in case of nested list. But in case of normal list, shallow copy works fine. Let's understand that as well. So this is a normal list starting from 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 5, and we are copying this using the same syntax copy dot copy and the name of the list. So notice that in while working with shallow copy, you don't need to specify the shallow keyword, only copy dot copy will work fine. Okay, and in the same way we are modifying the first element of this list to 100. Okay, so we are replacing 1 with 100. So now the copied list will become as 100 comma 2 3 4 and 5, but the original list will still remain the same 1 2 3 4 and 5, because they are pointing to different memory locations. And shallow copy works fine in case of a normal list, but it fails in case of a nested list, because in case of nested list it does not create copies of the nested objects. That is the reason whatever change we do in the copied list, it will also modify the original list. Here we can see that in the output. Okay, now let's come to deep copy. So deep copy creates a new object and recursively copies all the nested objects. So deep copy works very fine in case of a nested list. Let me move to our file. Yeah, so deep copy works very fine in case of nested list. So this is the same example 1 2 3 and 4, where we have a nested list. But notice that if we want to use the deep copy method, so you need to specify the syntax as copy dot deep copy, then the name of the list, and we are doing the same changes. We are modifying this 3 value with 100. So now you see that the only the copied list will be modified. The original list won't be affected because they are pointing to different memory locations. And in deep copy, even the nested list objects are copied recursively, like they won't modify the original list. Okay, these were the differences in deep copy and shallow copy. Let's move to the second question. What is difference between Python 2 versus Python 3 version? So first coming to the print statement. So in Python 2, print is a statement and you don't need to give the parenthesis, that is round brackets. We'll just need to write the print and in double quotes our message, for example hello world. But in case of Python 3, Print is a function, and you always need to specify the parenthesis, that is round brackets. So print round brackets, in that you have to specify the string. Second point is integer division. So in case of integer division, for example, if you want to divide 7 by 2, then in this case the output will be rounded off to an integer, that is 3, because 7 divided by 2, the output should come as 3.5. But in case of Python 2, the integer division is always rounded off to a integer. It won't show the output in float value. But if we want the output in float value, we should specify any of the one number as float. For example, if we divide 7.0 by 2, or if we divide 7 by 2.0, then only the output will come as 3.5. Okay. But in case of Python 3, even the normal division will give the result as float. For example, if we divide 7 divide by 2, the output will be 3.5. But if we want to round this number to a 3, we need to specify the two division signs in case of Python 3. Okay, these are the difference. Then the third difference is Unicode support. So in case of Python 3, all the strings are default as ASCII strings. But if you want to specify the Unicode string, you need to give a prefix as U. Okay, then only it will be specified as Unicode string. But in case of Python 3, all the strings are Unicode by default. There are no ASCII strings. Fourth difference is that if the F strings are supported in only Python 3.6 version, like above that it is supported, but in case of Python 2, there is no support for F strings. If we want to do the string formatting, we need to use the method str.format or the percent operator in case of Python 2. Then further the difference is xrange and the range function. So in case of Python 2, range function returns a list, and xrange function returns an iterator like a for loop. Okay, and it is more memory efficient. But in case of Python 3, the xrange function is removed, only the range function is used, which returns an iterator. Okay, so these were the difference between Python 2 and Python 3. Let's move to our next question, that is arguments and keyword arguments in Python. So as the name suggests, star arguments, it stands for the non-keyword arguments, and it is generally used to pass a variable number of non-keyword arguments to a particular function. And this star arguments is always treated as a tuple. And in case of star keyword arguments, we generally use it to pass a variable number of keyword arguments to a function. And star keyword arguments is always treated as a dictionary, not a tuple. Let's understand this with an example. So we have defined a normal function, example function, which takes this parameters like star arguments and star keyword arguments. So what we are doing is we are just printing the arguments, whatever the user passes at the time of calling the function. And in the same way, we are also printing the keyword arguments that a user passes at the time of using a function. Okay. So for example, we are calling this function, the name of the function is example function, and then we are passing n number of arguments to it. So what are the arguments we are passing? For example, we are passing 1 comma 2 comma 3. So at the output we will get the arguments printed. In the same way, we are also adding the key and value pairs in the form of a dictionary to this keyword arguments parameter. Okay, so in the same way it will be also printed, name as Alice, age is 30, city is New York. So the main motive behind this is, like, the user can pass n number of arguments or keyword arguments based on their preference. For example, if you pass 4 comma 4 5 comma 6 comma 7 comma 8 comma 9, so in the same way our output will also be modified based on the user preference. For example, 6 7 8 and so on. So in the same way, if you want to add more key and value pairs, even that we can do it by adding the state or any column whichever we want to add. Okay, so these are the use cases of star arguments and star keyword arguments in Python. So that's it for the day. If you like my content and are preparing for data engineering interviews, so please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Data Engineering with Saqlain, and also hit the bell icon for recent notifications. I upload videos in two different languages, that is English and Hindi. So do watch my videos. Thank you so much.